Lil Durk's case just took a turn so wild, it makes the YSL trial look like a kindergarten spelling bee. New documents, new statements, new chaos. And the internet can't decide if Durk's walking free or walking into the biggest setup since Suge Knight at the Source Awards. This isn't just a case update. This is a full-blown rap soap opera with betrayal, courtroom drama, and FBI whispers straight out of a Netflix true crime special. Because apparently, the streets don't forget, and neither does the system. The same Durk who climbed from O Block to Hollywood mansions is now stuck in a legal plot twist that feels like karma wearing designer shades. The new leaks? Let's just say prosecutors are playing chess while Durk's team is playing defense like their lives depend on it. Fans are screaming, "Free Durk," while others whisper, "Nah, this one's bad." Social media detectives are working overtime, uncovering receipts, footage, and conspiracy theories that'll make your head spin faster than DJ academics on caffeine. So grab your popcorn, because what's coming next in this case might flip everything we thought we knew about Lil Durk. Loyalty and the dark side of fame, and trust me, you won't believe this. Lil Durk's life has always been a highlight reel of survival, success, and suspicion. A real-life Netflix series where every episode ends with another to be continued. But this latest update, it's not a cliffhanger, it's a courtroom earthquake. The new details surrounding his long-standing case have fans questioning everything they thought they knew about Durkio Smirkio. The internet isn't just buzzing, it's combusting. Let's rewind for a second. Back in 2019, Durk's world flipped upside down when he and King Von were tied to a shooting outside the Varsity restaurant in Atlanta. It was supposed to be just another night, but it turned into a nightmare. Police reports claim Durk and Von were allegedly involved in a robbery and shooting that left one man injured. Overnight, the rapper who rose from O Block to the top of Billboard was now fighting for his freedom. At first, it felt like another case of the system trying to pin something on a successful black artist. "They want him down 'cause he's up," fans chanted online. Durk's lawyer came out swinging, insisting there was no physical evidence linking him to the crime. No fingerprints, no DNA, just word of mouth. For a while, it looked like he'd beat the odds. Fast forward a few years, and Durk seemed unstoppable. Albums topping charts, collabs with Drake, a new mansion, a new level of peace, or so we thought. But behind the smiles and platinum plaques, the case never really disappeared. It was just quiet, too quiet, and now, the silence just shattered. According to insiders close to the situation, prosecutors have allegedly reassessed the case after new digital evidence surfaced. Yeah, you heard that right, new evidence. Screenshots, phone records, and ballistic data have reportedly re-entered the picture. Some say it's old data being re-examined. Others claim it's something the feds have been holding in their back pocket for years, waiting for the right moment to drop it like a bomb. And judging by how the internet's reacting, this bomb just exploded. Social media detectives wasted zero time. Within hours of the leak, TikTok was flooded with wild theories. They found new surveillance footage. A witness just flipped. Durk's lawyer already negotiating a deal. Nobody knew what was real, but everyone was talking. And that's the thing about Durk's story. It's never been black and white. He's one of the few rappers who can go from gospel-level motivation to gangland confession in one verse. His fans love him because he's authentic. He survived what most people can't even imagine. But the system never forgets. And the streets, they never forgive. The whispers say this case update ties back to a ballistic match, the same kind of forensic evidence that's put countless rappers behind bars. Allegedly, one of the weapons linked to the 2019 shooting match is another unsolved crime. If that's true, this isn't just a Durk update. It's the start of a domino effect. When one link breaks in the street chain, the whole web starts unraveling. Now, before fans start throwing "Free Durk" hashtags everywhere, let's keep it real. This is serious. The type of evidence prosecutors are reportedly holding could reopen closed files. Industry insiders are whispering that Durk's legal team has already started strategizing in private. One source said, "They're trying to stay 10 steps ahead. This ain't something you wait around for." Still, Durk himself seems unfazed. He's been posting cryptic captions like, "They can't break what God built, and they always test the chosen ones." Classic Durk, cool under pressure, using adversity as marketing fuel. It's almost like he knew this storm was coming. But even his fans are starting to question how long he can keep dodging drama before it catches up. One viral tweet summed it up. Durk be talking about demons in his songs like he on FaceTime with them. Another said, he manifesting his own case. Harsh, but the internet doesn't do sympathy. It does entertainment, and that's exactly what this has become. Entertainment with legal stakes. The blogs are thriving off it. YouTube commentary channels are in overdrive, dropping hour-long analysis, videos with titles like The Hidden Truth Behind Lil Durk's Case and Feds Plotting Something Big. Everyone wants to be the first to break something that's already broken. But beneath the circus, there's real tension. Durk's team is allegedly worried that the renewed attention might drag in other names, especially since the case originally involved multiple individuals, including the late King Von. Von's death already changed the narrative once. Bringing his name back into legal discussions could ignite drama nobody's ready for. What makes it worse is the timing. Durk's been rebuilding his image lately. Philanthropy, family man vibes, staying off social media beefs. This case reappearing now, it's a PR nightmare. He's been trying to pivot from drill rapper to global artist. But the justice system doesn't care about rebranding. It only cares about receipts, and those receipts might be ugly. Allegedly, new phone data suggests Durk was in communication with people tied to the incident. Not enough for a conviction, but enough to raise eyebrows. Lawyers call it circumstantial, but prosecutors call it potential leverage. Translation? They're not done with him yet. Meanwhile, fans are split down the middle. The Durk loyalists say this is just another case of the industry targeting a successful black man. They point to his record, how every time he levels up, something tries to drag him back. They did it to Meek, they did it to Thug, now they're doing it to Durk, one fan posted. But the skeptics are louder this time. You can't rap about ops and expect the feds to stream your mixtape. Another comment read. Durk got too comfy. The culture's divided. Even other rappers are picking sides. DJ Academics posted a cryptic tweet saying, when they start reopening files, that's never a good sign. Lil Reese replied with just one word, facts. The streets are watching, the blogs are drooling, and Durk, he's just trying to keep the peace while his name trends for all the wrong reasons. There's also talk of a witness comeback, someone tied to the original 2019 case who allegedly resurfaced. Nobody knows who, but the rumor mill's saying it's a surprise testimony that could shake things up. If true, this could explain why prosecutors suddenly reignited interest. Because let's be honest, nobody wakes up after 5 years and decides, hey, let's reopen a case for fun. But here's where it gets messy. Because if this witness really exists, they're not just bringing Durk's name back into headlines, they're dragging old affiliations back from the grave. That means old gang ties, rivalries, and grudges that were supposed to stay buried could explode all over again. And for someone like Durk, whose life and art are so deeply intertwined with his past, that's dangerous, both legally and physically. Industry insiders say this is why Durk's been moving differently lately, traveling with tighter security, less public appearances, and cryptic lyrics that sound more like coded warnings than songs. He's in self-preservation mode, and honestly, who can blame him? The man's seen more loss than most people could handle in a lifetime. Friends dead, labels folded, investigations never ending. And now, this. The reactivation of this case doesn't just threaten his freedom, it threatens his entire narrative. The voice of the trenches can't be preaching peace if the law's painting him as the villain. It's the ultimate contradiction. The streets call him real, but the system calls him dangerous. And that's what makes this case update hit harder than any diss track. Because this isn't rap beef, this is real life. And unlike the internet, real life doesn't come with a delete tweet button. Durk might still be smiling for cameras, but behind that cool demeanor, everyone knows what's really happening. The past is knocking, and this time, it's got a warrant. The second that leak hit the timeline, the internet transformed into one giant digital courtroom. Twitter threads popped up faster than mixtapes, and everyone suddenly had a law degree from the University of I Heard. Hip-hop fans, bloggers, wannabe detectives, even washed-up rappers. Everybody wanted a piece of the story. You couldn't scroll 2 inches without seeing "New Durk Update" in all caps. Some pages swore he was cleared. Others claimed he was about to do time. It was chaos, pure algorithmic adrenaline. One YouTuber even went live for 8 hours straight reading fake court transcripts like it was the OJ trial reboot. Within a day, the conspiracy machine kicked into overdrive. "The feds waited until Von was gone to move," said one viral post. "They trying to make Durk the face of gang crime," said another. The wildest theory, that the prosecutors were pressured by industry elites who didn't like Durk's rise. Someone actually compared it to Power Season 6, only this time, the script was real. Then the celebrities jumped in. 50 Cent dropped an Instagram post of Durk looking stressed with the caption, "When the street's still calling collect." Boozy went live calling it another setup to stop black success. Even Meek Mill, usually the voice of calm, tweeted, "They love seeing us in chains, not charts." The comments section turned into a war zone. Team Durk versus Team He Did That. Meanwhile, DJ Academics was having the time of his life. He posted 3 different exclusive updates in 12 hours, none of which actually said anything new. Fans accused him of using the case like clickbait currency. "Acadramatics out here solving crimes that ain't solved," one tweet joked. But jokes aside, Ac kept the story trending non-stop, and that's exactly what prosecutors hate. Noise. Because the louder the internet gets, the harder it is for Durk's team to control the narrative. Lawyers live for silence, fans live for chaos. Every meme, every remix of Durk lyrics edited over police sirens adds pressure to a case already suffocating under public opinion. Then came the bombshell. An alleged insider document leaked on Reddit, supposedly summarizing ballistic evidence and witness testimony. Within minutes, it was reposted everywhere. Headlines screamed, "New court docs expose Durk's role." Never mind that the file looked like it was typed on a flip phone. The internet doesn't need authenticity, it just needs screenshots. People began dissecting every bar Durk ever wrote. Remember when he said, "I seen too many faces in interrogation rooms"? That was foreshadowing. You'd think Genius.com turned into a federal database. Even casual fans started connecting dots that didn't exist. One viral TikTok claimed Durk's verse on Hellcats and Trackhawks predicted this entire situation. Another said he was sending hidden messages through emojis. Yes, emojis. The memes were cruel, but they hit. One had Durk photoshopped in a courtroom wearing a no auto-tune jumpsuit. Another showed him side by side with Gucci Mane, captioned "Clone era loading." The internet laughed, but Durk's camp wasn't amused. Sources close to him say he was furious that people were turning his pain into content. But while the public turned the story into a circus, real moves were happening behind the scenes. Durk's lawyer reportedly filed motions demanding that prosecutors clarify what evidence had actually resurfaced. Translation: show your cards or stop the bluff. That legal maneuver alone made fans hopeful, because if they had anything solid, they wouldn't need to clarify a thing. Still, speculation kept climbing. Rumors claimed an old associate had flipped to save himself in another case. If true, that means someone close once again whispered Durk's name to the feds. The streets started buzzing. "Ain't no loyalty left," one Chicago OG posted. "They'll trade a name for a plea deal quicker than they trade sneakers." Durk stayed publicly calm. He posted a photo in designer sweats, captioned, "They can't knock what's blessed." But his eyes told a different story. Tired, defensive, wary. You could sense the weight of being both a rap icon and a walking target. Every move he makes now is under a microscope. Every lyric he writes is potential evidence. That's not music anymore. That's surveillance with a beat. And the fans? They can't get enough. People started betting on his outcome like it was March Madness. 5 says he walks. Nah, he taking a plea. The comments turned human pain into fantasy football. That's the dark magic of internet fame. Your downfall becomes someone else's entertainment playlist. Then came the industry backlash. A few venues reportedly paused negotiations for Durk's upcoming shows. Promoters fear controversy equals liability. Streaming platforms began quietly adjusting playlists. Less Durk in the algorithm. It wasn't official censorship, but it felt like the start of it. One journalist tweeted, "They're pre-cancelling him before the verdict." Of course, Durk's rivals couldn't resist. A small army of lesser-known rappers dropped diss freestyles referencing the case. Half of them sounded like they recorded through a microwave, but clout don't care about quality. They used Durk's name as a stepping stone to relevance, and fans ate it up. He dissed Durk, instant 50K views. Welcome to the new rap economy. Exploitation as exposure. Meanwhile, prosecutors stayed quiet, but not silent. A court clerk confirmed to reporters that additional materials were under review. That one vague statement sent the internet spiraling again. Within minutes, hashtags like Choik Free Durk and Cha They Setting Him Up trended simultaneously. The polarization was wild. Half the timeline wanted his release. The other half wanted his head. Even more surprising was who came to Durk's defense. Police officers from Chicago commenting anonymously online, saying he's been giving back to the community, not causing trouble. Imagine that. Cops defending a rapper in the middle of a legal firestorm. That irony alone broke the internet for a full day. But the biggest twist of all, rumors started circulating that the prosecution's case might not just focus on the Atlanta shooting. Allegedly, they were looking to connect patterns from multiple incidents across states, basically trying to weave a RICO-like narrative. The same formula they used against Young Thug, but softer. That theory sent the culture into panic mode. "Not another RICO!" fans cried. "Atlanta's running out of rappers." Durk's response? Silence, which of course the internet interpreted as guilt. Because online, if you speak, you're lying. If you stay quiet, you're hiding something. Either way you lose, podcast jumped in next. Everyone from Vlad TV to Drink Champs hosts started debating whether realness in rap had finally gone too far. NORE even said, "Bro, these kids ain't rapping no more, they're confessing." It went viral. Partly because he's right, half the modern rap game sounds like a deposition with a beat drop. And Durk's catalogue, raw, emotional, authentic, sits right at that intersection between truth and self-incrimination. The meme pages called it the Durk effect. Prosecutors call it evidence. But what do we call it? A disaster in slow motion. Fans started reflecting on the bigger picture. How fame keeps dragging Durk back into darkness no matter how far he runs from it. Every step toward peace gets met with another headline, another exclusive, another lawsuit. It's almost biblical. The man who escaped O'Block just can't escape his past. And while the system plots, the industry watches in silence. Rappers who once bragged about being OTF suddenly turned into ghosts. Collaboration offers disappeared. Everyone's protecting their brand. That's how fame works. Loyalty has a price tag, and scandal makes it skyrocket. By the end of the week, the line between rumor and reality was gone. Every exclusive sounded credible because no one could prove otherwise. The fans didn't care if it was true. They just wanted drama. The case wasn't in court anymore. It was trending under entertainment. The sad irony? This frenzy could actually hurt him in court. Judges see headlines, prosecutors see hashtags. When the world treats your case like a meme, it's harder to convince anyone you're innocent. Durk's story stopped being about justice. It became a spectacle, a celebrity cautionary tale unfolding in real time. And as much as fans say free Durk, they secretly love the show too much to look away. Because when hip-hop meets the law, nobody wants truth, they want content. And that's exactly what this case has become. The internet's favorite crime series, starring Lil Durk, the voice of the trenches, now whispering through courtrooms instead of microphones. By the time the internet finished dissecting every pixel of the case, Lil Durk wasn't just a rapper anymore. He was a cultural symbol. For some, he was the voice of survival, the man who made it out and refused to bow to a system built to break him. For others, he was proof that no matter how rich you get, you can't outrun your past. The noise around the case was deafening. Even people who didn't listen to rap were talking about, what's happening with that Durk guy? Durk kept quiet. No interviews, no rants, no cryptic lives. Just silence and motion. But that silence was louder than words. Because every time he disappeared, the world started speculating. He's plotting. He's scared. He's cooking up something. In truth, he was exhausted. The man had lost friends, fought off death, survived betrayal, and carried an entire culture on his back. And now he was watching his name get dragged like it was trending for sport. One industry insider said, "You can see it in his eyes. He's tired of proving he's real. He just wants peace, but peace don't trend." And that's the sad part. The internet doesn't know how to handle healing. It feeds on chaos, on downfall, on spectacle. Durk's trauma was the audience's entertainment. The legal storm reached its boiling point when reports surfaced that prosecutors had officially re-examined the old evidence. But the twist nobody expected came next. After weeks of investigation, the new materials didn't strengthen the case, they weakened it. According to multiple sources, The supposed ballistic match that had everyone panicking was inconclusive. The so-called new witness? Their statement didn't hold up under review. Just like that, the fire that burned through social media started to dim. The fire that burned through social media started to dim. The internet, of course, didn't apologize for jumping to conclusions. Instead, it shifted gears instantly. They tried to frame Durk again, became the new narrative. TikTok detectives turned into freedom activists overnight, claiming the case was another example of systemic targeting. A fan even made a viral video titled "They Can't Silence the Voice," compiling clips of Durk performing while news anchors discussed his legal drama in the background. It hit 1 million views in 2 days. Meanwhile, Durk finally broke his silence. He didn't rant. He didn't cry. He didn't even directly mention the case. He just tweeted, "God got me. Always did." 7 words. That was it. But those 7 words echoed across hip-hop like a thunderclap. Within minutes, rappers from Meek Mill to Lil Baby retweeted it. It wasn't just support, it was relief. Because deep down, every rapper knows how fast a headline can ruin a legacy. Still, the damage was done. Durk's image had been shaken, even if his case wasn't. Sponsors hesitated. Journalists smelled blood. And let's be real, the culture has the attention span of a goldfish on caffeine. The minute your name isn't associated with chaos, people move on. Durk was at a crossroads. Rebuild his name, or lean into the villain narrative the internet kept assigning him. Then came his next move. A single. No warning, no promo. Just a cover image of his hands clasped like prayer, titled "Case Closed." It wasn't subtle. The lyrics hit like a confession and a sermon rolled into one. They love me when I'm broken, scared when I'm healed. I'm the mirror they avoid, 'cause I show what's real. He wasn't rapping for charts. He was rapping for peace. But of course, the internet twisted it. "He dissing the DA," one YouTuber claimed. Another insisted, "This is coded messaging to the streets." Durk can't even breathe without becoming a headline. The man posts a sunrise photo, and fans debate if it's symbolism for freedom or foreshadowing jail. Fame turned his life into a puzzle the internet refuses to stop solving. But even through the madness, something shifted. Other artists started speaking up, openly. Kodak Black went live saying, "Man, they stay trying to bury us with our past. I'm glad Durk beat that." Rick Ross reposted him with the caption, "The voice can't be silenced." Suddenly, the tide began to turn. The same culture that mocked him weeks earlier was now rallying around him. It was the classic hip-hop redemption cycle. They hate you, they doubt you, they free you, and then they crown you again. Still, the scars remain. The case might have lost steam, but it left Durk paranoid. You can hear it in his music, see it in his interviews, when he even does them. He's more guarded, more cautious, like a man who's finally realized that survival isn't about outshooting enemies. It's about outlasting narratives. The system might have failed to lock him up, but it succeeded in reminding him that freedom isn't the same thing as peace. For his fans, this whole saga became a wake-up call. They saw firsthand how fast the internet can spin a story into a death sentence, how one leak can turn into a lynch mob, how a man can be tried by hashtags long before a judge ever looks at a file. In a weird way, Durk's ordeal became bigger than him. It became a mirror for how broken the fame machine really is. You know what's crazy? Through it all, Durk never lashed out. No lawsuits against bloggers. No rants about betrayal. Just quiet consistency. It's almost like he learned the ultimate secret of celebrity survival. Silence is stronger than spectacle. The final twist came when a reporter asked him during a red carpet appearance, "So what's next for you after all this?" Durk smiled, half amused, half drained, and said, "Living." One word, one statement, one mic drop. It was so simple, yet so loaded. After all the drama, all the loss, all the accusations, what's left for a man who's been fighting since day one? Just living. That moment sealed it. Fans realized this wasn't just about a court case anymore. It was about legacy. Durk didn't beat a system. He beat the cycle of fame feeding pain, of the internet turning trauma into trend, of the industry rewarding chaos but ignoring growth. In the end, the prosecutors blinked. The blogs moved on. And Durk walked out stronger than ever, scarred maybe, but standing tall. He's no longer just the voice of the trenches. He's the cautionary tale turned survivor. The proof that no matter how messy the headlines get, truth always finds its way through the noise. And somewhere in that truth, Lil Durk finally found what the streets, fame, and even justice couldn't give him: peace. Because the real victory isn't walking free, it's walking away. And that, my friends, is the kind of plot twist you don't see coming. The case that was supposed to end Lil Durk's career just reminded everyone why he's still the voice. They tried to bury him under rumors, headlines, and anonymous sources, but he turned the dirt into diamonds, again. But let's be honest, you're not just here for justice. You're here for the drama, the receipts, the chaos, the truth that hits harder than a diss track. Because when Lil Durk's name trends, you already know it's bigger than rap. It's history unfolding in real time. So before you scroll off, smash that like button like you're slamming a gavel in court. Drop your wildest theory in the comments. Was this setup real? Did someone inside flip? And make sure you subscribe, because the rap truth doesn't sleep. While other channels chase clout, we chase the scandal behind the scandal. Tomorrow, it might be Young Thug's next courtroom bombshell, maybe a new Meek Mill redemption arc, or maybe, just maybe, another Durk update that flips everything we just said upside down. Because in hip-hop, peace never lasts longer than a headline. This is the rap truth, where the beats hit hard, the drama hits harder, and the truth, it always leaks eventually. Stay tuned, stay savage. And remember, in this game, freedom isn't promised, loyalty isn't guaranteed, and every headline's just another verse in the world's messiest mixtape. You already know what it is. The rap truth, where hip-hop's skeletons dance in daylight. Skeletons dance in daylight.